Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone. Do you know how to use comparatives in English? Hi, my name is Alicia, and this is 3-Step English by EnglishClass101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to use comparatives through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. Morning, Lisa. The usual, please. 1 black coffee coming up. It's nice to see you, Jerry. How have you been? Busy. I'm trying to figure out all the details for my new personal training business. Wow, congratulations! I can promise you that running your own business is very challenging, but more rewarding than you can imagine. Was it hard in the beginning? Yes and no. Starting a business is easier than you might think, but getting your first customers is harder than any other thing you'll have to do. That's a good point. Lucky for me, I already have a few private clients. That's great! Besides, the best advertisement is word of mouth. You'll be fine. Let's go over the dialogue again, more slowly this time. Morning, Lisa. The usual, please. 1 black coffee coming up. It's nice to see you, Jerry. How have you been? Busy. I'm trying to figure out all the details for my new personal training business. Wow, congratulations! I can promise you that running your own business is very challenging, but more rewarding than you can imagine. Was it hard in the beginning? Yes and no. Starting a business is easier than you might think, but getting your first customers is harder than any other thing you'll have to do. That's a good point. Lucky for me, I already have a few private clients. That's great! Besides, the best advertisement is word of mouth. You'll be fine. Let's focus on the key part of the conversation. Starting a business is easier than you might think, but getting your first customers is harder than any other thing you'll have to do. This character is using 2 comparative clauses in this sentence to explain her experience with starting a business. She found starting the business to be easy compared to what might be the general perception, but found getting her first customers very hard when compared to the rest of what was involved. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Verb phrase is comparative adjective, then verb phrase. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Starting a business is easier than you might think. In this sentence, starting a business is the first verb phrase. The verb in the phrase is starting. The phrase is followed by is to connect it to the comparative adjective. Easier is the comparative form of the adjective easy. Following the comparative adjective is than. This connects it to the second verb phrase. Make sure not to use the word then with an E. The second verb phrase is you might think, with think being the verb. Let's break down how we make the comparative form. It's an essential part of this lesson. Comparative forms are usually formed based on the number of syllables in the adjective. For 1-syllable adjectives, typically we add ER to the adjective. For example, old becomes older. Clean becomes cleaner. If the adjective ends in E, simply add R. For example, safe to safer and nice to nicer. For adjectives ending in a single vowel followed by a consonant, double the consonant before adding ER. For example, big to bigger and hot to hotter. For 2-syllable adjectives, if it ends in a consonant and Y, we change Y to I and add ER. In the case of easy, it follows this rule. We also have happy to happier. For other adjectives with 2 or more syllables, we add more or less before the adjective. For example, more crowded, more dangerous, or less interesting. While most adjectives enter the comparative form by placing the word more before the adjective or appending er after it, there are a few which are completely different from their root word. Good becomes neither more good nor gooder, but better. The comparative form of bad is not badder or more bad, but worse. Now, let's look at some speaking examples. Exercising is more efficient than eating healthy. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Exercising is the first verb, followed by is. More efficient is the comparative form of the adjective efficient, and is followed by than. Eating healthy is the second verb phrase. Next, playing tennis is more expensive than jogging. Playing tennis is the first verb phrase. More expensive is the comparative adjective, and jogging is the second verb. Let's try one more. Fishing is more fun than you can imagine. Fishing is the first verb. More fun is the comparative form of fun. This is an exception to the rule of adding er to the end of short adjectives to make them comparative. A lot of people make the mistake of saying funner. You can imagine is the second verb phrase. Another one. Learning an instrument is more challenging than you might think. Learning an instrument is the first verb phrase, followed by the comparative adjective, more challenging, and then the second verb phrase, you might think. One last example. Playing baseball is more exciting than playing basketball. Playing baseball is the first phrase, more exciting. Thank you for watching. Now you know how to use comparatives in English, and now you can move on to the practice.